Bomber by Anthony E.C. Linford, continuing from Chapter 6, The Ride. This is Part 2. Lieutenant Bauer regarded Mike carefully through his Nordic blue eyes. He turned slightly to the Air Force blue-clad warrior, assuming a somewhat professional or medical manner. It was clear that he felt differently about Christoph as he started to explain in almost clinical detail. He would be treated as German Lord Kreis. You see, unlike you decadent English plutocrats, you public school milksop mummy's boys, we at least have a hope that this vile sickness of homosexuality that has infected so many might just be curable or reversible. He is still a German after all, and should we not offer him treatment? Or maybe you agree with those Jewish doctors like Sigmund Freud who thinks this is somehow natural, not even perverse. We could, of course, have simply executed him and other degenerates like him. Even our Lutheran SS chaplain would call him, or as you would call him, our unit padre, agrees that this sodomite commits vile and disgusting acts with other men. He will likely burn in hell for his crimes, but we believe we have the expertise with which we can cure him. The black uniformed figure paused and drew again on the red coal of his smoking cigarette. The noises outside grew louder, causing him to roll up his window to still be heard. In fact, research has demonstrated that with full castration, a subject can be cured of all homosexual tendencies. And of course, no longer useful to the Reich as a real man, he can be left to work and produce weapons for the German war effort. Well, at least he can still work and benefit the Reich. Bauer drew breath and continued his diatribe. You see, Airman, every society throughout human history that has been weak has fallen. Look at the godless decadence of Rome. Look at them worshipping their pagan gods like Bacchus. Look at men preying on young boys in their temples. Look at their immoral excesses, the cancer that destroyed their rulers. When even our Christian God hates sexual degenerates, are we not doing something good to try and cure them by these methods? I assume a Christian such as yourself would agree with our Lutheran chaplain on this matter. The lieutenant paused, rolled down his window and flicked the cigarette butt out onto the grey paved road, finally adding, as an afterthought, you know, Chaplain Klaus calls Martin Luther the greatest Germanic anti-Semite ever. And in that respect, he agrees with our glorious leader Adolf Hitler. He continued. By this time, his driver could be seen walking to the front of the truck and climbing onto the running board, trying to get some idea of when the armoured column would clear and finally pass through the camp perimeter road so that we could again be secured to go ahead. In fact, In fact, Captain, any man calling himself a Christian should be revolted by the very nature of these men exchanging their natural lust for a good German woman, Deutsche Frau, to, shall we say, sticking it up the tailpipe with another man. What do you think allowing that will do to a man's soul, to a Christian society, to gute deutsche Menschen and Familien and kommende Generation? Lutheran Christian Lieutenant Bauer had lip-lapsed seamlessly back into his own tongue, possibly as he became more committed to his Christian mission of changing the world and eliminating from it all that he considered was wrong, perverse, and harmful. He ended with further German. This time Mike could translate a little more. Turning towards him, balling his fists as if ready to strike out against what he regarded as such unqualified evil that came from hell itself, he pleaded, "Denken Sie an Himmels, willen Sie da Kinder." As the lieutenant fingered his white collar and sank back into the sprung horsehair seat, Mike made out, "Father, for heaven's sake, think of the children." End of part 2 of chapter 6.